Solving equations by multiplying and dividing. Brought to you by today's joke of the day. Why did the student eat his math exam? Because the teacher said that it was a piece of cake. Today we're going to be solving equations by multiplying or dividing. The Indiana Academic Standard is 8.3.1. Now we're going to talk about division property of equality. If you divide each side of an equation by the same non-zero number, the two sides will remain equal. Multiplication property of equality states you can multiply each side of an equation by the same number. Let's take a look at the arithmetic for division. Here we have 6 equals 3 times 2. If we divide both sides by 3, that's the division property of equality. If A equals B and C does not equal 0, then A divided by C is the same thing as B divided by C. For the multiplication property of equality, that simply states that if we have 12 equals 3 times 4, then if we multiply 12 by 2, we would also multiply 2 by 2. And for algebra, if A equals B, then AC is equal to BC. Example number 1. Dividing to solve an equation. A total of 288 pens are boxed by the dozen. How many boxes are needed? In a word form, we have the number of pens is 12 times the number of boxes. So we're going to let B be the number of boxes. We know that there are 288 pens, so we have 12 times B. So we end up with 288 equals 12B. To get B all by itself, we're going to divide both sides by 12. So 288 divided by 12 is 24. 24 boxes are needed. You can check, is the answer reasonable? 12 times the number of boxes is the number of pens. 12 times 24 equals 288. The answer is reasonable. Pause the video if you need more time to copy down the notes. Don't forget, you have to have a question written down, so be sure to write one down so we can talk about it in class tomorrow. Example number 2, dividing to solve an equation. Solve negative 2v equals negative 24. Well, we have negative 2v. To get v all by itself, we're going to have to undo what's happening. Right now, negative 2 is being multiplied by it. So we're going to divide both sides by negative 2. The negative 2's on the left cancel each other out. You're left with v. Negative 24 divided by negative 2 equals 12. You can check your answer by substituting in 12 to the equation. Negative 2 times 12, does it equal negative 24? Well, negative 2 times 12 does equal negative 24. So that is our solution. Pause the video if you need more time to copy down the notes. Now we're going to multiply to solve an equation. Solve x over 8 equals negative 5. When we have x over 8, we know that we're dividing the variable by 8. To undo division, we're going to multiply. So we're going to multiply both sides by 8. Well, the 8's on the left cancel each other out. So on the right-hand side, you have 8 times negative 5. 8 times negative 5 is negative 40. You can check your work by substituting it in. Does negative 40 divided by 8 equals negative 5? Yes, it is. So we know that negative 40 is the correct solution. Pause the video if you need more time to copy down the notes. Let's take a look at example 1. We have 4x equals 84. To solve this equation, you have to get x by itself. Well, since we're multiplying in the original equation, to solve it, we're going to have to divide both sides by 4. Well, the 4's on the left cancel each other out. So on the right-hand side, you have 84 divided by 4, which equals 21. You can check your solution to make sure that that's correct by substituting the 21 back in. 4 times 21 does equal 84, so we know 21 is the solution. Let's try 2a together. Negative 3b equals 24. To get b by itself, we're going to have to divide both sides by negative 3. The negative 3's on the left-hand side cancel each other out. So on the right-hand side, you're left with 24 over negative 3. 24 divided by negative 3 is negative 8. So b equals negative 8. You can substitute in the negative 8 into the equation to see if that works. Does negative 3 times negative 8 equal 24? Yes, it does. So we know we have the correct solution. Pause the video if you need more time to copy down the notes. Don't forget, you have to have a question written down, so be sure to write one down so we can talk about it in class tomorrow. Now try these problems on your own. Pause the video, work them out. When you're finished, turn the video back on and see how you did. Keep track. If you're using Edmodo to watch the videos, when we're all done with this lesson, email me how many you have correct. You're going to have 3 problems total that you do by yourself. For example B, you should have come up with the solution of negative 12. For example C, you should have come up with the solution of negative 14. Remember, keep track, because at the end I want you to post or message me on Edmodo how many you have correct out of the 3. You're going to have one more that you do on your own. Let's try 3a together. R over negative 5 equals 10. In the problem, we're dividing by negative 5. R is being divided by negative 5. To undo that, we're going to multiply both sides by negative 5. On the left-hand side, the negative 5's cancel each other out, and you're just left with R. On the right-hand side, we have 10 times negative 5. 10 times negative 5 is negative 50. So the solution is negative 50. We can substitute that back into the equation and ask ourselves, does negative 50 divided by negative 5 equals 10? Yes, it does. So we definitely know that negative 50 is the solution to problem 3a. Now let's look at 3b. S over 6 equals 54. We have to figure out, or we have to get S all by itself. To do that, we're going to have to multiply both sides of the equation by 6. On the left-hand side, the 6's cancel each other out, so you're left with S. On the right-hand side, we have 54 times 6, which is 324. You can substitute in 324 into the original equation and ask yourself, does 324 divided by 6 equal 54? Yes, it does. So we know that 324 is the solution to this equation. Try the last problem on your own. Pause the video, work it out, and then check your work and see how well you did. Remember, message me through Edmodo so I know if you got them right. If you message me, you'll earn a badge. So problem C, we have negative 30 equals t over 20. To solve this equation, we're going to have to multiply both sides by 20. So on the left-hand side, we have 20 times negative 30. On the right-hand side, the 20's cancel each other out, so we're just left with t. 20 times negative 30 is negative 600. You can check that solution by substituting it back in. Is negative 600 divided by 20 equal to negative 30? Yes, it is. So we know that that is the solution to the equation. Pause the video if you need more time to copy down the notes. Don't forget, you have to have a question written down, so be sure to write one down so we can talk about it in class tomorrow. That test tastes good.